Hey guys, welcome back to Z World News, here with another article for you guys. This is coming from the RT.com website titled, "As American Forces Leave Afghanistan, Russia May Find Itself Squaring Off with the Taliban in Defense of its Central Asian Allies." It's from July 7th, 2021 by Paul Robinson. Now, before I get to the article, I kind of just want to give you a little bit of background. The U.S. troops based in Afghanistan, about 90% of them have withdrawn from that country already. Majority of them were stationed in a base called Bagram Air Base. It's about 5,000 acres. It's about the size of a small city, houses about 20,000 soldiers in it. And I've seen documentaries about it. It looks like a small city. It's got malls. It's got Burger Kings, Popeyes, Pizza Huts. They sell jewelry. They even sell cars. They sell motorcycles. I mean, it's pretty much, if you ever heard the song, "I Owe My Soul to a Company Store," this would be representative of that, because the majority of the pay that the soldiers get is spent in this city pretty much. And I'll be going over that in another video to give more detail about it, what actually happened with that military base. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the article. After war in the Caucasus and unrest in Belarus, Moscow might see Tajikistan's growing border crisis as just another conflict on its doorsteps. But the presence of the Taliban may well cement Russia's role in regional security. Just over 22 years ago, February 15th of 1989, the last few troops of the limited contingent of Soviet troops in Afghanistan crossed over the bridge of friendship linking Afghanistan and Uzbekistan, then a part of the USSR. With that, Moscow's military campaign in the mountainous nation came to an end. This week, fighters were once again flowing northwards out of Afghanistan, although for somewhat different reasons. As the United States wraps up its own failed military operation in Central Asia, Taliban insurgent forces have been steadily advancing. In the past few weeks, they have captured more than 100 districts in Afghanistan. About half of the country is now in Taliban's hands. Now, despite billions of dollars of support from American taxpayers, many Afghan government forces now seem to be giving up the fight. On Monday, news emerged that over 1,000 of Kabal's troops had crossed the border into neighboring Tajikistan in order to save their own lives. The British state broadcaster, the BBC, reports that the retreat is the third time Afghan soldiers have fled to Tajikistan over the past 3 days, and the fifth time over the past fortnight. In total, nearly 1,600 soldiers have crossed the border. Now, more may follow. Afghan morale seems low, and the wholesale collapse of the Afghan army is not beyond the bounds of possibility. As yet, Russia does not seem too concerned in this regard. While the Afghan government's position is perilous, it retains control of the major population centers, and the Taliban has yet to show it can capture and hold a major city. Following the Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan in 1989, the government held on to the largest towns in the country for several years before losing control. As long as the Soviet Union kept sending money, it was able to use the funds in question to buy the loyalty of key warlords and stay in power. Now, the regime fell only when the Soviet Union collapsed and Boris Yeltsin's Russian government refused to provide further cash. Historical parallels are never exact, but this does suggest that the current Afghan state might be able to hold on as long as the Americans keep paying for it. That said, beyond a certain sense of Schadenfreude at seeing the Americans back off in defeat, it's unlikely the Kremlin is viewing events in Afghanistan with a great deal of pleasure. Instability in one country breeds instability in another. While neighboring Tajikistan, a former Soviet republic and important regional ally for Russia, is currently politically stable, it endured a bloody civil war from 1992 to 1997, in which some 20,000 to 100,000 were killed and 10 to 20% of the population was displaced. Rebel forces were able to use Afghanistan as a base and receive support from the Afghan warlord Ahmed Shah Massoud. There will undoubtedly be concerns in Moscow that events could now repeat themselves and that the growing chaos in Afghanistan will threaten life beyond the frontier. As Professor Andrew Kazanstev of the Higher School of Economics in Moscow told the newspaper Vendomosti, if the situation in Afghanistan gets worse, hundreds or even thousands of Islamist fighters will try to cross the border with the aim of destabilizing Tajikistan. While this does not directly endanger Russia, Moscow will not want to see Islamic groups gaining a foothold in any territory close to Russia, especially given the country's own recent domestic history of Islamic terrorism. The Kremlin, therefore, has a strong interest in ensuring Tajikistan's continuing stability. To this end, Russian President Vladimir Putin talked by telephone with the president of Tajikistan and Uzbekistan and promised to help the Tajiks to secure their border, if necessary, by sending additional troops. Russia has a military base in Tajikistan, which, according to Deputy Foreign Minister Andrei Rudenko, is fully equipped to provide assistance to the country if the need arises. If the situation requires additional efforts, they will be undertaken, he added. Along with Russia, Armenia, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan, Tajikistan is a member of the Collective Security Treaty Organization, a defense organization somewhat similar to NATO in that an attack against one member is considered an attack against all. It is unlikely that events will spiral out of control to the extent that Tajikistan requests Russian assistance through the CSTO, but the fact that both Armenia, which recently fought a war with Azerbaijan in Nagorno-Karabakh, and Tajikistan, which currently faces a threat from irregular forces in Afghanistan, are members of the pact, indicates that there are serious challenges facing states of the former Soviet Union. It also reveals the importance of Moscow as a guarantor of regional security. With the United States on the retreat, there is no state other than Russia with a military capacity to play this role in the Caucasus and Central Asia. Both in brokering a peace settlement between Armenia and Azerbaijan and in offering aid to Tajikistan, Russia is stepping up to this role. No doubt this will cause alarm in some circles in Washington, who will view Russia's influence in parts of the former Soviet Union as geopolitically undesirable. From the point of view of regional security, however, it's difficult to see how it is harmful. Seen from Moscow's perspective, it shows that while the growing chaos in Afghanistan poses some serious challenges, it also provides a diplomatic opportunity to prove Russia's continued relevance on the international stage. End of article. Was this pre-planned by the Americans by leaving all that military equipment behind? The base literally was abandoned overnight. All their military trucks, military equipment, weapons, everything was pretty much left behind, supposedly for the Afghan military, which is giving all the equipment to the Taliban. So the Taliban is going to be very militarily equipped to cause chaos in that area, which is right next door to Russia, right next door to China, right next door to Pakistan. Time will tell. I'll keep you guys posted on anything new that's coming out of that area. And if you like what we're doing, of course, subscribe, like, hit the notification button for any future episodes, and I'll see you in the next one.